It was a quiet night in the city. The streets were quiet, the lights were glowing, and high above the buildings, Wolf sat alone on his rooftop. He loved looking at the stars, but tonight something felt different. As Wolf looked up at the moon, a strange blue light suddenly appeared beside it. At first, it was small, then it became brighter. Wolf stood up and stared at the sky. The glowing light started moving faster and faster. It raced across the stars and came straight toward the city. Wolf could not believe his eyes. A few seconds later, the blue light crashed into a nearby park. A bright wave of magical energy spread across the grass. Leaves flew into the air. The whole park began to glow. Wolf quickly ran down from the rooftop and rushed through the city streets. He had to see what had landed. When he reached the park, he followed the blue glow into the bushes, and there, hidden among the broken leaves, Wolf found something unbelievable. A tiny glowing puppy slowly opened its eyes. On one ear there was a shining moon symbol. Wolf stepped closer and whispered, "Who are you?" Wolfie gently picked up the tiny puppy and carried it away from the glowing park. The little puppy was soft, warm, and shining with a gentle blue light. Wolfie had never seen anything like it before. He brought the puppy to his cozy apartment and placed it carefully on the couch. The puppy looked around the room with curious eyes. Then something magical happened. Tiny blue sparkles began to rise from the puppy's fur. They floated through the room like little stars. Wolfie stepped back in surprise. This was not a normal puppy. The moon symbol on the puppy's ear started glowing brighter. A soft circle of blue light spread across the couch. Then, above the puppy, a magical image appeared in the air. Wolfie looked up and saw a beautiful kingdom made of silver castles, glowing rivers, floating islands, and bright stars. It was the Moon Kingdom. The puppy had fallen from a world far away. Wolfie now understood. This little puppy was lost, and somehow Wolfie was the only one who could help. Magical blue light filled the apartment. The tiny moon puppy looked at Wolfie with hopeful eyes. Wolfie sat quietly and listened. To return home, the puppy needed to open a moon portal, but the portal could not open by itself. It needed 3 magical items. Suddenly, 3 glowing objects appeared in the air. The first was a golden star crystal. It shined like a tiny sun and sent golden sparkles into the room. The second was a rainbow feather. It floated gently in the air, glowing with every color of the sky. The third was a moonflower. Its petals shimmered with soft silver light. Wolfie looked at the 3 objects carefully. The journey would not be easy. Each magical item was hidden in a different place. The star crystal was inside the city museum. The rainbow feather belonged to a giant bird at the top of a tall tower, and the moonflower only bloomed in a secret garden under the moonlight. Wolfie took a deep breath. He knew the puppy needed him, so he stood up, looked at the glowing map, and decided to help. Their adventure had officially begun. Wolfie and the moon puppy followed the glowing path through the city. Soon they reached a huge museum. The building was tall, quiet, and filled with golden lights. Inside the museum, everything was still. The floors were shiny. Ancient statues stood in silence. Glass cases lined the hallway. Wolfie walked carefully while the puppy's blue glow softly lit the way. At the center of the museum room, they finally saw it. The star crystal was inside a glass display case, glowing with golden light. Tiny sparkles floated around it. Wolfie stepped closer. The moon puppy moved toward the glass case, and the moon symbol on its ear began to shine. A blue beam of light connected with the golden crystal. The crystal started glowing brighter and brighter. Then the glass case slowly opened by itself. The star crystal rose gently into the air. Wolfie carefully took it in his hands. But suddenly, the museum lights flashed. A soft alarm echoed through the hall. Wolfie and the puppy quickly ran toward the exit. Blue sparkles followed behind them as they escaped into the night. Outside the museum, Wolfie looked at the glowing crystal. The first magical item was finally theirs. After finding the star crystal, Wolfie and the moon puppy followed the next glowing path. The path led them to a giant tower reached high into the clouds. Far above the tower, a magical rainbow bird circled through the sky. Its wings sparkled with every color imaginable. Wolfie looked up. The rainbow feather had to be somewhere at the top, so Wolfie began climbing the spiral staircase around the tower. The wind became stronger as he climbed higher and higher. The city looked smaller below him. At last, Wolfie reached the top platform.